everybody, and welcome once again to the Hennessy Performance Racing League YouTube channel. Tonight, the Division 1 series of Formula One is heading to Canada in the beautiful racetrack of Circuit des Villeneuve in Quebec province. Alongside me in the booth here is the lead commentator, Ballstick, Dylan.
Hello.
I'm going to go ahead and transfer it off to you so you can, I'm not in the race yet, so you can go ahead and get everyone caught up to speed on this early qualifying session.
So what we will see here, thank you to Jim for starting us off there. I think it's going to be our weekly routine that we will swap. Anyhow, we have a packed field tonight. We have a full 20 cars racing tonight. We have some reserves. A couple reserves for tonight are Mike G, Mayhem, and Garrison are the three reserves we have racing tonight, each of them for different teams. Here at the Canadian GP, it's a very fast racetrack. It's very large but very fast racetrack with a lot of big straights. So you got to look out. There's a high-speed chicane on the backstretch, which a couple cars were violated last night, especially after the first couple turns too. Gets a bit tight. These couple of chicanes you got to be careful of because the track limits here are very unforgiving. So you got to make sure you don't hit them too hard. Always got to keep at least 2 tires on the track. As we already see the first couple guys, Mr. Hex and that one Porchy Dude out on track. I think Porchy should let off here or have Hex go. What is happening between these two? Are they going to wreck already? Nope. Hex is letting them on by. So we're going to hop on board with Pat 1 Porchy Dude as he will be our first qualifier of tonight's race. As we see a bunch of cars making their outlaps now while the race is clear. The track is clear. Got to get back into the swing of things real quick. Got to learn how to talk again.
Alfa Romeo, of course, with Porchy and Team Air Jordan, still looking for that first good run of the season. Doesn't seem like they've accumulated many points. Could be wrong on that. But from what I've seen the first 4 weeks, they haven't really been up there in the top 5. We saw Porchy a little bit at Bahrain in the beginning, but I didn't really see much of him in the last 3 races. So hopefully he can get that turned around and get himself some points.
Porchy is coming around the final turn here. Coming across the start finish line to start his first lap of today's session. So we can see riding on board with his telemetry as well. He's 3rd gear through the first couple turns. I should take a note out of his book because he gets a bit loose exiting into the chicane down to 4th gear. Porchy is a very quick guy that we have in the league when it comes down to speed and stuff like that, of course. But cleanliness, he's gotten in a few incidents, whether it was his fault or not. I will not go into detail there, but if you guys have been following along, you've been able to see what has happened. Porchy needs to get some good points tonight. Alfa Romeo has been in a bit of a rut. I think Porchy has finished a couple of races this season so far, but I don't think the second driver has, or at least if they have, it's been out of the points. So we need Alfa Romeo needs a good race tonight, sponsored by Kick as well. He's coming around to the second last straight before the chicane. Of course, he will top the charts since he's the first car. Coming around to set his lap off the final turn. And he jumps up the P1 with a 112. We'll see if Hex can do anything better than that, as he does by a whole second. I think the strategy...
In the time trial, they were running 109s, so maybe the track isn't that fast, but I think you will see guys like Jackson and the real top-tier drivers, they'll probably be in the 110s.
Rev Beamer hits a 111. I mean, you never know. Time trial is perfect conditions with perfect tires when you first start off on them. So time trial gives a bit of an unrealistic approach. As close to 110.6, and Jackson sets a 115 on the inters. Furchinator hits a 113. Furch has a little bit of practice from last night. Elite Precision, P4, 11.4, 111.4. You gonna say something, Jim? Or did I cut you off?
No, you're good. But Rev Beamer making his return. Remember, he had a podium in Jeddah, and he's back for some more in that Haas right now 3rd on the board.
Indeed. It's,
I'll be really interested to see how Mayhem fares this race. I think he was a quick driver. It seems like he got out of practice just a little bit, but I think he does have pace. I think he's fast enough to podium tonight, and he's just going to need some things to fall his way. And we saw last night he wasn't really the fastest, but maybe he got a little practice in, and last night gave him a little bit of advantage for tonight.
As Mayhem jumps up to P6 with the 112. I think these guys with the mediums are just trying to set a baseline lap, it seems. Get the track to warm up, get a quick little warm-up lap. But, as we see, always Joker jump up to P2 with a 110.9. As I think Kenny is on his flying lap on the intermediates. Now, if I were the guys starting out, I would keep those mediums. I'd do my warm-up lap on the intermediates if I wanted to do any warm-up lap. As it took me 3 tries last night to finally set a lap down. As Kenny's loose, he's going to take out the Haas. He does not, but he almost does. That was a scary sight. Which Haas is that? Mayhem.
That's Mayhem, yeah.
Couldn't tell.
Go too wide through here? That's going to be interesting.
This is interesting. I wonder if Kenny's just going to come around and set a lap, but Mayhem is pitting there. Since he is done with his lap. So here comes Kenny to set his first lap on the inners.
That's another big point for tonight, Dylan. I don't know. The one of the big issues for D2 was pit road. Entering pit road, it's very easy to get sucked into speeding.
A lot of drivers last night. What is happening?
Yeah, it's definitely something they need to remedy in D2 and D1. Yeah, it could be an issue tonight. It's kind of a tricky pit road.
Yeah, a lot of drivers, though, at the same time, had a hard time keeping it on the track. There were a good few drivers with just a ton of on-track penalties. Bunch of time penalties there. Ashoka's going to come down pit lane here. Or not. He's going to go for a 3rd lap. Oh, he might be trying to give his teammate some tow on the front stretch. As he does. Will that do anything for him? We'll find out if it does. We'll ride on board with Gary.
Only 6 cars have yet to take a time. Still have 10 minutes. A little under 11 minutes to go in Q1 here.
We have a good amount of time remaining. Oh, good amount of time. This Gary's coming down to the hairpin here. I think that might be Josh coming to the start line. Or was Mike Choose, one or the other. Oh, it was Josh with a 1:10.555.
Not bad, Josh.
A Ferrari going down the pit lane. I'm pretty sure that was Kenny. And here comes Gary to set his lap here. Coming across the start-finish line with a 1:11.6. I think we're going to ride
last night's winner right there, Garrison.
True. True that. I think he is ready for this race tonight.
He is definitely fast enough to be a D1 driver.
He's pretty quick.
He had time constraints that made him do D2, correct?
That was spin and win.
Oh, okay. My bad.
It could have been Gary too, but I don't know the deal with that. I mean, Gary's fast, but all of us have the potential to be quick as well. We just need to put the time in, of course. Most of us don't have the time to anymore, though. As we're going to see Mason coming around to start his first flying lap.
Yeah, Ferrari has been struggling a little bit lately, too. Kenny at Monaco, he lost a wing. He was fast. Lost the wing, but Soaps never really was up there as Clay goes to the top of the board. Back with that 1:10.545, only 1/100th of a second faster. But yeah, the Ferrari's still looking. And
Masopes no longer has a front wing. Unfortunate to see for this Ferrari driver. He's just struggled this season quite a bit, as he is doing an 18-point turn here.
And still hit the wall. Yeah, the Ferraris, so Kenny has shown plenty of pace, and Masopes is fast too, but it just doesn't seem like he's put in as much time as the rest of these guys, and it's really shown on the circuit at each week so far. And in D1, you've got to be able to have some time to put in order to be fast.
So Logan is starting his first lap. We're going to see. We're going to ride on board with him. Air Jordan is also on his outlap. I think that it might be him coming around in Sector 3 now. Yep.
It is.
This track looks pretty big, but in reality, it's so quick that it feels short. These long straights, man.
Man, Team Air Jordan. Trying to get as much as he can. I found out that if you get loose like that, it's actually slower.
Jackson with a 110.2. Well, we're going to see
really
where...
The key with an F1 car is to apply the power as smoothly as you can and get a launch off the corners rather than trying to wheel it off of the corner.
Logan jumps up to P12 with a 111.6. Qualifying here, I will say, is not easy. It's such a fast track, it's kind of hard to keep the car on track. Hit your braking points is a must. You have to hit them perfectly, or else you may get a track limits warning.
You almost want to go deeper into some of these corners than what your driving line tells you. I don't know if any of these guys use the driving line, but the driving line tells you to brake a lot earlier, and it's very easy to steer in too early and cut the corner.
See, Air Jordan jumps to P17 with a 112.6. Kenny's coming around to set his another flying lap. Here he comes. Out of the final chicane, into the rumble strips a little bit. Invalidated this lap. This Ferrari, guys, it's a very unfortunate qualifying effort today.
Still 6 minutes. You can come back down and cool off as
Kenny and Miss Soaps have both wrecked it. Neither of them have a front wing.
Find you a better combination than Ferrari and botching laps in qualifying.
Yeah, man.
That's quite impressive.
That is crazy.
Oh, one off. It's Clay in turn 1. AlphaTauri with a little bit of a visit to the barrier. Don't think he hit it, but got very close to it in turn 1.
Miss Soaps and Kenny have to get around as quick as possible. They need to be able to get onto another outlap on new softs, get that front wing repaired. And it looks like they should put more wing on it.
Oh, Garrison.
Yep.
No change.
Kiss the wall.
Oh, he's going to get held up actually
Kenny
by the Haas.
Is doing something back there.
I think Gary's on a fast lap, but the Haas just held him up right there. And that was mayhem. Gary is not going to be pleased with that.
These are two DT drivers going at it in qualifying. As
Mayhem killed it.
Somehow doesn't DNF out of that one. Doesn't retire the car. He's going to retire it probably here.
All right, let's keep an eye on Clay the Monkey right here. P2 coming to a hot lap. He's warming up the tires. I think he's ready to go give this a shot for pole.
Trying to reclaim what was his.
Can anybody stop the Red Bull of Jackson Altman? He's been dominant so far. In qualifying and in the race. Oh, no. That was a mistake from Clay. Yeah, he's going to have abandoned this lap.
Yeah, he immediately turned that ERS off.
How about Heredia? Up to P2.
Holy. I didn't even notice that.
Aston Martin's still showing out strong in qualifying.
Now, do we see the Ferraris go back on track at all? Because both of them are still sitting in pit lane. What's
They
the
gotta fix
strategy
that
here?
damage. I think they have to use some time to fix that damage. I think it takes like a minute.
Oh. Heredia has invalidated his lap.
Oh, well, that's fine. I think he just put down his hot lap.
Yeah.
2-lap old softs. I don't think he's going to be able to beat that time, especially with ERS depleted.
Killer XL has retired from the session. Must have been in pit lane. Or, wait. Huh. Yep. Yep. What is Logan doing?
Logan, I think this is a strategy to warm up tires.
Yeah, go way wide on the final turn?
Go way wide and then start warming up the tires the entire straight.
I wouldn't go the entire straight. You still need to build up some momentum before the chicane.
Furch is off in turn 3. Don't think he has any damage. But let's go ahead and go with Logan Aim, see what he can do.
Oh, Furch. We're going to see if Josh can also improve on his lap time.
Was he out there?
Yep, he's right in front of Logan.
That might be the one to look at then. Yeah, definitely is. Keep an eye on Josh.
Josh has invalidated his lap.
Never mind.
So Mike G right behind
Logan?
Logan?
Keep your eye on Josh.
No, Mike G's the one ahead of Logan.
Now, Mike G, this is his first call up. Right now 16th, but not that far off. Just a 112.5. That's about a second off the pace of anyone that's mortal.
Back to Logan. Mike G has invalidated his lap.
Sometimes you get into that mentality. You see your delta going in the red, and you think you just have to push harder. And I imagine that's what happened with Mike. He probably wasn't on his fastest lap, and he pushed a little too hard and cut the course.
As we saw behind, that one Portugal warming up them softs. See what he can do here soon. Logan does not improve his lap time, unfortunately. Heredia retires from the session as well.
He went down one extra gear in the final chicane. I wonder if that killed his momentum. For some of these guys, this is practice. Some of these guys haven't actually put in a lap yet.
So we see Maso's back on track for his flying lap. This Joker retires from the session.
I think Jackson might be out here just to protect in case someone does beat his lap.
Yeah. This is a caution in the final straight.
Yeah, let's see what Josh has. Oh, he pushed it hard through the final chicane. Boom!
Josh with a 110
almost a 109.
Flat.
Oh my goodness.
That is crazy.
I thought he cut the final chicane, but he must have had a centimeter on the tire that kept him on the racetrack. Fantastic lap from the Williams.
As we're gonna see two cars. Porchy dude come across the line here. Gets beat by Miss Soaps. Doesn't improve his time and gets beat by Miss Soaps for a P10. Porchy P11.
I'm wondering if the slipstream on the straightaway might have made the difference there. Did Porchy screw himself up?
Kenny LaFleur's coming around too. Says something better than a 118 as he's coming around the final chicane. We see an Aston right behind him as well. Kenny up to P6.
Oh, yeah.
I think Tiger up to P4. Pushes Kenny down one. There's, I believe, Mike G coming around. Final hairpin as he has invalidated his lap. We see Josh also with an invalidated lap. Jackson's coming around the final chicane.
It's a 109. It's going to have to be a 109.
Oh, it's a 109.993.
What a lap.
What a sequence of events here we've seen. That's pretty crazy, if I do say so myself.
That is... How does Jackson perform under pressure like that is my question. Once you see your fast lap one, you think that's, like, Dynamite get surpassed, and you keep on the racetrack, you make sure that you can still put a lap out there and actually hit your marks like Jackson did that lap. That's beyond me.
Yeah, that was pretty insane.
That's the clutch gene.
Mike G has to retire here so we can get going. Yep, there he goes. Jackson Altman with a pole. I think that's what, his third or fourth of the season?
I think that might be his fourth.
All right,
no, third. That's his third.
True.
Apparently Rev Beamer's not on a singular tire at all.
Wow. That's crazy, dude.
Just a black dot.
As P1 goes Jackson Altman, Josh P2, Heredia P3, Tiger P4, Clay P5, Rev Beamer P6, Kenny P7, Joker P8, Garrison P9, Hex P10, Electric P11, Missops P12, Porchy P13, Killer P14, Elite Precision P15, Logan 16th, the Air Jordan 17th, Mayhem 18th, Mike G 19th, and Furchner rounding out in 20th position. Didn't have such a good race last time, but we're going to see if he can bounce back tonight.
Yeah, Furch doing double duty along with a couple of others in the field.
As I do not believe there's a formation left, so we are hopping right into this race. It looks wet.
Does it?
The track looks wet.
On my screen, it looks bone dry.
On my screen, it looks wet, buddy.
Oh, boy.
The track is very much dry, buddy.
It's dry? Dude, my screen is bugging. How early is it? Is it like an early race then? Is it like morning dew on the ground?
It's just cloudy and then it gets sunny.
Yeah, I see it's cloudy, but it looks bone dry.
But my pit lane looks glossy as all could be.
Interesting.
I will be in the
some
box.
Rubber.
What?
I see some rubber in the Ferrari pit boxes down there, but that's about all I see. I don't see any.
I got a comment from Furchner saying, I will be in the box. Okay. I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm going to be honest. I'm laser focused on the race.
Are you taking the start here, Dylan, or you want me to take the start?
As we get the 5 red lights. And away we go here in Canada. Jackson Altman already starting off with the lead. Already starting off here. We're going to see what happens as well. So far, start is clear. With the two Aston Martins side by side. Heredia and Tiger NASCAR. As the field is kind of single file a little bit. As we can see a little battle here with Clay the Monkey and Kenny. Kenny ends up taking that position. Hex going for a move here on Garrison as well, showing that he is the D1 driver and he deserves his spot over Garrison, so we're going to see how this plays out. Porchy also getting by Garrison. He had a bad start. I think he might be on those mediums, though, so he is. Porchy on the softs. 2 drivers in the softs tonight. It's Porchy and Killer, so we see a lot of mix-up here. They'll be good for a good bunch of laps, but probably about 12, I guess.
I just want to point it out. Jackson's already up the road.
2.5 seconds. All
right.
right. Jackson came to play.
They're racing hard back here. Oh, no, is that the Ferrari of Kenny?
That is the Ferrari, Kenny. Unfortunate start for Kenny. Is actually
he does get to hit pit road, though. That's a little
Porchy also on pit road.
Yeah, it must have been a broken wing for the Alpha as well, so
he is taking some new mediums. New mediums for Porchy, new hards for Kenny. Wow. Porchy gets out before Kenny as well. Got in the pit road after.
I think that was probably not the worst thing to happen for Kenny. He lost the wing, and it shot him straight down pit road.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he didn't have to go if he had to go the full lap, we were talking trouble. That was going to be a lot of time lost, but a little bit of a fortunate break, a little bit of an unfortunate break for the Ferrari of Kenny LaFleur.
Wow. Jackson already. How much ERS does he have? He's at 70, so he's used a good bit. So we're going to see how much Josh has used. He's used less.
And that hairpin carousel, whatever you want to call it, on the far end of the racetrack, Jackson is just flying. He's just gone. He gets such a nice launch on exit.
Jackson with a 1:13.1, fastest lap of the race so far. I don't think we'll see anyone top that though. There's been a lot of moves made here. Furchinger with a 5-second penalty speeding the pit lane. What was his plan?
He still hasn't learned.
So he's going to come down for mediums. Kenny with a 3-second penalty already for time for track limits.
Yeah, he's pushing too hard right now. You just got.
Porchy also comes down pit road for hards. This is the second pit stop Porchy's made. He's on the hards now. He needs a safety car, and I do think he will get one at some point this race. Just a matter of time.
Back here that have had some early issues. You can't over push the car. There's no way you're going to make up 11 seconds of time or 8 seconds of time to the leader or to the next car. There's just no way. So you can't accumulate the penalties here. You just got to keep it on the racetrack and hope for safety car. Oh, wow, the battle for second. Oh, my goodness. The Aston Martin slicing and dicing with the Williams. They're going to try to go to... Yep, they're trying to go around them as a team. But right now it's not going to work as Tiger's able to clear, but... Oh, crossover. That's Martin Peretti trying to get around Josh.
Garrison with the fastest lap so far. There might have been a bit of contact there, but I think Peretti just gave him that spot. Because we're going to ride on board the TV pod with a couple of these guys so far. Tiger needs to make up some of this time as he's just losing time. Jackson's just so fast. He's on a Sunday drive tonight.
You gotta see what tire he's on. Are they all
on the mediums? Top 3 are on mediums. Already on the hards. Joker on the mediums. Beamer and Clay on the 3-lap hards. Killer on the softs. And then medium, 3 hards, 2 mediums, 4 hards, medium hard.
Wow. It looks like 2nd through 9th is a DRS train.
Yeah, it seems like that to me too here. But you also see 10th through 14th as well.
Trying to think when these guys will start making pit stops. Obviously too early now.
Yeah, I think
when do you start thinking like lap 13?
I think if you're on the softs, probably 12 or 13. Mediums can go a couple laps more. Hards can go probably half the race.
Yeah.
If you're careful with them.
I mean, I know Heredia. He's pretty aggressive, but he's also like on the NASCAR side. He's really good at conserving his stuff. So, despite how aggressive he is, that hard tire, that could come back to play in his favor when he goes to the mediums later.
Yeah. These are 2 completely different games, though, with 2 completely different physics engines, but you need to wonder if he's even, like, tried to practice tire conservation. A lot of the drivers, I believe, have. Some drivers, like me, it just comes easily because we're so slow.
Got a nice race back here, just outside of the points. Not really racing more. The Soap's able to clear the McLaren for P11.
Garrison with a 3-second penalty. Mason's just chasing down this AlphaTauri of Electric Days. Both are on the same tires. The lead position is not too far behind Mason. Let me get us out of the TV pod. There we go. Broadcast angle. Come on. Sporty goes back to the softs, on the 1-lap softs. You really got to think, what is he cooking? He is a lap down already in this race.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with the Alfa Romeo, but that's definitely not the way they wanted to start this race. Only lap 6. There's a lot left, but that one, I mean, he's going to need something to happen.
Yeah, but I don't know how lucky dogs and like waiver rounds work, if that even exists here. Like, if he was to stay out during a safety car and Jackson comes down the pit lane, I don't know how that works, whether he can just pass the safety car and try to catch back up. But Team Air Jordan has left the session, unfortunately. He might have disconnected. His car will be AI and quite slow.
Another penalty for Kenny. he is still pushing way entirely too hard for what I can say. Like I know you want to get back up there, but there's no way from this far back after the early wing damage that you're going to make that time up on pure pace.
So we can see the penalties here so far. Electric Dates with 3 seconds, Garrison with 3, Kenny with 6, and Frictioner with 5. So we're just going to run through there real quick as well.
Red Beamer and Heredia looking to, well, Red Beamer looking on Joker for the 5th
safety
position.
car is out.
And a safety car.
For what, though? What happened?
I'm looking. I'm not seeing anything.
Did someone...
Oh, Masopes is missing a front wing.
Who else is missing something?
I think it's just Masopes. From what I can tell, I can't see any other car around him with damage, so I think Masopes must have just head on into a wall.
In-race supporter, can you give us any info on this, or are you also confused about why there's a safety car out?
I would assume someone lost a wing, but
really?
Well, it's definitely Masopes.
I gotcha. Thank you for that information. As yeah, the safety cars have been pretty sensitive, even though we've had just standard safety cars. I mean, last week, or actually last night, what's it called? We had 2 cars with the front wing, and a safety car was called, brought out on track.
Wow, this is kind of interesting. Heredia and Rev Beamer did not pit. Neither did Electric. These guys are on 7-lap-old hards, but do you think those tires have worked in maybe a little bit?
Fortitude has gone around the safety car, so I believe if the leader is pit in front of him, he is allowed to go around it. It's like a wave run. That must be how it goes here in F1. But he's going to try and make up as much time as he can on these softs. This is a good break for him, but if he can get up to the field in time, because they're going about, what, 70 miles an hour? Maybe 80?
Seems like the pace car is a little more tame here than he's been.
Yeah.
I mean, Monaco, he was cooking.
He seems like he's cooking here, because Heredia is going a good 130.
Yeah. On the straightaways, this thing gets up to speed.
Yeah, man, I wish we could get the telemetry of it to really see what's going through. But Heredia is going up to probably 100, 120. Wow. This guy is flying. You really got to think, is that the top gear Stig inside that car?
Just moving.
There's no cars on these old... Oh, Electric Days pitting here on the 7-lap hards. We'll see if Air Jordan decides to. He does not. That is an AI as well. We'll see if Mayhem does. We're going to check on board with him real quick, see if he decides to come down pit road.
Yeah, this is going to be a good test. I don't know how the hards really work.
Kenny tries to go for a move on Mayhem, it seems, under safety car, and got turned in the last chicane. I wonder what that's all about.
Heredia and Rev Beamer being on 8-lap old hards versus the 1-lap old hards that haven't even done a full, actual lap yet. It's just been pace laps.
Well, you got to think about it this way.
I don't know how this works.
So the hards take a couple laps to even get good. Like, they're going to be pretty slick throughout the first couple laps, but I think they'll have an advantage for 1 lap, but Jackson just been so fast so far this race that it might not matter. As Porchy is still trying to come up. He might be able to get back up there, but when the safety car is actually in and supposed to come back down pit lane, it limits your car, so he won't have the full speed. He won't have the full capabilities that he would normally have for Green.
He's also still on 5-lap old softs.
Yeah,
so this is going to be a short... I'm not sure what he's cooking.
So I think he's
going to catch back up, but he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, I think the game plan is just to catch back up, make sure he can catch that time back up, and just hope for a safety car. Because he is very far behind. The safety, I think he's got 1 more lap, because I never got anything saying the safety car was in this lap. So he's got this lap to catch back up,
as I think he will. Come down and change these softs.
I don't know, man. He might. he might get close enough to where it triggers the safety car to get down pit lane, but he does not want to lose that much time because the safety car won't wait for him.
No.
Safety car
but
will
you
go
can't
4
stay
laps.
On the softs.
No, I don't think you can either, but he's going to come down pit lane here. I think he's made up
there's
enough
no
time.
way.
He just doesn't need the speed. He doesn't have any wing damage, so that won't take any time. He needs to get an optimal stop here, 2.2. As he does come down pit lane. Goes to the hards, and he is away. I think he'll be able to get back up there in time.
Porchy is very knowledgeable about Formula One. He knows what he's doing. So I'm not questioning what the move was there. But I'm glad to see that he's not going to be starting this restart on the softs.
I mean,
5-lap old softs at that.
There's no way
this would last another
There's
5
a
laps.
reason we call he himself F1 in the Discord chat. He is very knowledgeable. Shout out McCard. Safety car should be in this lap. It's been a good couple laps. The safety car will only wait 3 or 4 laps before going in without everybody. But he should easily be able to make it. Yep, safety car in this lap.
Porchy's going to catch him.
He is, but he's going to get limited here, where his power will actually slow down a little bit, but he does make it back in time. But when the safety car is ready to go in the pit lane, they make it so that they reduce your speed, so you can't really Kyle Busch a restart like Porchy could have there.
Is that what that's about?
That's what that's about. It's so that you don't jump it, I think, if you're that far behind, because
I wish I knew that.
Because that's what happens. That's why it's so important to catch back up, because if you don't catch back up, you'll still be reduced power. Every car is, until that safety car enters pit lane, you'll be underpowered a little bit. I think. That's just how it feels. But we're going to hump up here with Heredia God. Mr. Hex with a 3-second time penalty here. That is his first, I believe. First 3 second. And the top 5 have already kind of broken away.
Jackson. Wow.
Jackson already getting by Rev Beamers. The Aston Martin of Tiger NASCAR hard in the barriers. Keeps his front wheels intact as we have a VSC. Look at him ignoring yellow flags. I don't know how he got that so quick. I think he might have. I don't know. Huh. This game amazes me sometimes.
That's a painful one for Aston Martin. They are second in team points. And Tiger was up there in the top 5, dropping out all the way to 20th, dead last. And that's a lot of track position he's going to have to make up. He's going to have to come down. He has a broken
front wing.
Missing front wing.
Yeah, so that thing is destroyed.
This could hurt Aston Martin a little bit.
I think it can, but I mean, trends of the race, man, we'll probably have another safety car.
True.
I mean, granted, it's not D2. D2 was filled. As Furcheater gets a 5-second penalty with a severe collision of that one, Porchy dude.
Is he missing a wing?
5 second. I don't know how he got a severe collision for that, but a severe collision. Neither car has damage. As Mayhem is trying to race Porchy here,
look
green
at this,
flag.
Bumping for the lead. The Red Bull into the side pod of Heredia. No, there's no way. There's no way Jackson doesn't take
that
this
ain't
lead
gonna
in
fly.
this lap.
I didn't even know that we were going green quite yet until we hit the start-finish line. Extra days with a 3-second time penalty as well. Wow, this is looking like last night. All these penalties, man. As Jackson gets by Heredia getting loose there. As I think that
There's
might...
nothing Heredia can do.
No, that Red Bull is just so fast. You'd think we were on realistic performance here. But we are not.
No,
Jackson
one loose.
is just that
goodness,
fast. Rev Beamer with a save.
Wow.
Crazy save here from the Haas driver.
He got off in the grass and everything. Kept it under him.
Bro was sideways there. Jackson has already gotten up to about a second lead there. That is unbelievable already. He is just insane.
Look at the parity in the top 7. Look at that. Red Bull, Aston Martin, Williams, AlphaTauri, Haas, Mercedes, and of course, McLaren. All of them different manufacturers, different teams.
Another 3-second penalty for Furcheater. I think that's 8 seconds since he also sped on pit road. No, he's probably at 13 because he sped on pit road, severe collision, and then the time, the corner cut.
Oh, battle back here. Joker looking to the inside of Rev Beamer, and he's going to take that spot. That was 5th.
He is also on 7-lap fresher hards than Rev Beamer as well.
Yeah, remember, Rev Beamer and Heredia both stayed out on those hards, 12-lap old hards.
As Joker going for a move here on Clay, does not get it done. As Mr. Hex is side by side with a Rev Beamer here, as they straighten it out. Jack Selman has checked out. Excuse me. As Killer gets by Mr. Hex, as we see Rev Beamer coming down pit lane, I believe he'll go to the mediums.
Oh, yeah. These old hards for these guys are not working. Heredia is starting to fall down the order as well. Those 6-lap old hards are starting to work their magic now as they're getting to optimal temp.
Yeah. They won't feel like a new pair of sauce, but they'll be able to keep you on the track.
Joker looking for 4th. Can he make a move? This is a hard place to do it. I think he'll wait.
Yeah, you gotta wait. Josh with a 3-second penalty. That's gonna hurt. The race ended now. I think he dropped down to 5th or 6th.
Oh, here comes
Joker
to
with
the
a little, maybe a bit of
side.
contact with Heredia.
Just a tiny bit.
Yeah, that's
It
enough
looked
to send these
to
cars
me,
sideways.
it looked like Heredia kind of came down on him, but
As
it'll be
we
hard to
see
tell.
Clay, I think, try to go by Josh as he does make that move. Clay is cooking.
Mediums.
That one Portuguese dude with a 3-second penalty as well. I think that is his second of the night.
He's rebounded up to 14th, but he's kind of stagnated back here.
Yeah.
All this track position he's lost. It's going to be hard to get in front of these guys.
I think
especially when they're in a DRS train.
Next time we pit, or they pit, I think he's going to opt for that 5-second removal there. Be able to get some seconds off during the safety car. I think he can serve it during the safety car. You can't serve a drive-through, but...
Yeah, Heredia is still falling back.
As Mayhem has disconnected from the session.
Okay, he disconnected on track.
He is not retired, but he has disconnected. As we see Late Precision go around Heredia on the 7-lap mediums. So we got both McLarens back-to-back here in 6th and 7th, looking like real life, honestly. Garrison gets by Heredia as well. You gotta wonder if Heredia's going to pit this lap.
Yeah, he almost has
he does
to.
not.
It seems like he's losing way too much time at this point, where it's not going to be beneficial.
He's losing a ton of time.
I think he's trying to stay out as long as he can and then take the mediums, but that's going
Not
to be
a bad
really
call,
hard to do.
but you can't lose this many positions this late. This like at the middle section. So you can't lose this many positions at this point of the race, as we still have like 20 to go. Oh.
Rev Beamer on 2-lap old mediums put down the fastest lap, 113 flat.
Indeed,
He's
he
back
did.
there in 16th after pitting because he was on the same strategy as Heredia. Had the old hards, moved over to the mediums. Don't look now. Clay is not letting Jackson get away. 1.7 back.
Clay is
0.6 back.
making up a ton of time here on Jackson.
Again, mediums versus hards here. This is going to be really interesting because these guys are pretty equal on pace.
These mediums will end up dying out, as they might have just started to die out because Clay is no longer getting as much time as he was.
But that is also the strongest part of the racetrack for Jackson out of that carousel. He is so strong at getting the power down and powering off, keeping all the momentum going straight onto the final corner.
Soaps with a 3-second penalty as well. You really gotta wonder, what is Ferrari cooking?
Oh, Josh, hold on to her. Wow.
He was ghosted for a second there, getting sideways. It was Kenny with his third 3-second penalty of the night.
Dude, Josh is pushing so hard. He needs to just
He has
chill
no
out.
choice.
He's going to get clay with this harder compound because those mediums are going to start wearing away here very soon.
Yes.
If you're Josh, just stay behind the AlphaTauri and wait for your tires to do the work for you.
Because he's a whole second and a half behind. He does not have that DRS. He's trying to use as much ERS as he possibly can. He's only
he is
into the single
driving the
digits.
hell out of this thing.
Yeah, he is killing them tires, really trying to catch Clay here. As I don't think he'll make enough time to get up to Jackson, but he may be able to pass Clay here soon. Those mediums are going to diminish. His first team gets a 3-second penalty. Josh with a hell of a save. Oh, and he's wrecked the front wing. He is pinballing in the front straightaway.
That is, you had to have seen that coming. He was all over the place that entire last lap.
Mayhem has joined back, but Josh is going to lose probably about 5 spots here as the Red Bull, both Mercedes will go by before the chicane. We got both McLarens making a bunch of time because Josh has to go so slow through these corners.
Oh.
You got to think, will he be able to keep it on the track? Keep the rest of this lap clean.
Here. He has got to be careful. It's going to be hard giving up positions and not getting loose. I mean, he's already still dead loose everywhere.
I think Kenny will get him here too. This reminds me of that scene from Cars when Lightning McQueen just falls, just drops back as he cuts that whole chicane. Loses another spot to Josh. To Kenny. Will probably lose this spot to Logan as well.
Oh. Man,
Logan had to make sure he didn't get his front wing damaged because of how slow Josh has to go through that corner without the front wing he has. Does have the DRS, but he should be coming down pit lane here.
While that was happening, Killer has made his way up to third.
Well, we see a double podium here tonight for Red Bull as Killer is quickly under fire by both of these Mercedes. Killer on the hards, Joker also on the hards, Gary on the mediums. You got to think if Gary's going to be in pouncing distance here. If both of these drivers get into it, Gary's going to be ready to take both of those positions away. As he does have a penalty. I think it is only 3.
I think Joker is content staying behind him, but Killer does look extremely loose. He looks like he's all over the place.
These worn hards.
Yeah, these hards are bad on long runs.
As Joker gets so close up to his bumper, or his rear wing, excuse my NASCAR language there, with the DRS, but will Joker try to make a move here into the hairpin? I don't think he does. Garrison almost hits Joker as...
Ooh.
I think there was a little bit of contact there, unless Gary just...
A little bit.
Try to slam the brakes.
Contact. And that's going to allow Killer to scamper away just a little bit. Maybe a little less pressure will allow him to get his inputs a little smoother and not get as loose.
You got to think here, too. Who will be the first driver to come down pit lane on these 11 and 12 lap worn tires? Same with Porchy and Electric on the 10. Masopes and Mike G on the 11s as well.
I think if you're Clay and any of these guys on the mediums, you're going to be the first to...
I think the mediums have to come down very shortly. As Heredis is a 1:12.4 going for that fastest lap. But I think if you pit next lap with the mediums, I think you just come down for mediums again.
Mediums again. Yep, absolutely. Because, I mean, we've seen these hards. We've seen how awful these hards are. I don't know how the mediums are, but they don't look as bad.
Yeah, but the thing about it is...
it's just Clay is more planted. Maybe his Seb's more planted.
I think you got to go maybe like 15 laps, get the lap 23 before you think about pitting for these mediums, because the hards could probably last you 20 laps without getting a puncture. But you might want to push it here so you get less time on the next compound, so you maximize your grip through the rest of the race. But you don't want to do that for too long, because then every lap you lose grip with no matter what tire you're using. As there almost might have been some contact there.
These hards look especially bad. I mean, we saw one of the best in the series, Josh. He wrecked it because those hards were just on ice. So I don't know. I would probably run this out another 2 or 3 laps and then come down from the games.
That's what I mean. That'll bring us to about lap 23 here. As we're coming up on the Team Air Jordan's AI. He is ghosted. He is ghosted, but if you have the driving line on, you need to make sure you could block out that ghosted car to be able to hit your mark still. Because that can really mess you up depending on what track you are at. That messed me up pretty bad at Monaco last week.
Yeah, it
As they
plays
get
mind
by
games
that.
on you because you don't want to hit the back of it, but then you realize, oh, it's ghosted.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about it.
I think around lap 25 we'll go over who has what penalties. As there's a full course yellow. It is a virtual safety car though.
What is this for?
Let's see.
Birch
Let's go through the field and see. Clay the Monkey drive through penalty speeding in a virtual safety car. I don't think it's Heredia.
Wasn't Tiger.
Nope. Was it Miss Soaps? Nope. Was it? It was Josh.
Josh.
Josh
What happened
is
to him?
stuck.
Oh
Wow,
he
Josh is stuck. Oh, he got disqualified
get
for
out of
being
it.
parked in a dangerous position. Wow. He was stuck on the track. He was revving up that car in the what's it called? In reverse. You gotta hate it for Josh.
I'm not sure how this is a disqualification, to be honest with you.
He's
Did
in.
not look
He was.
like he could help it.
I mean, no, but his car was stopped on the track, and it doesn't matter where you are stopped in the track. It is always a dangerous location.
It ghosts you.
It does, but F1 rules are F1 rules. As
Well,
look at this.
that
Porsche
keeps us
dude
in
up to P4. Did not pit under that virtual safety car though, so he's
track
still on these
position.
13 lap hards.
He's gonna be so loose. He's
Yeah.
gonna have to really hold on to this thing.
So we're gonna see.
Kenny went to the softs. Now that's a bold strategy. He's the only driver out here that has opted for that strategy.
I wonder if his game
Everyone
plan
else
should
got the
just.
mediums.
Well, this is a shorter track, but it's so fast that your tires will just degrade very quickly. So you may overheat your
Gary.
tires accidentally. As I think he'll just be going for fastest lap here. In all honesty, he's in the DRS zone.
Gary on new hards. Another bold strategy.
I would think if you're gonna pit this late in the race, I would
Softs
think
or
mediums. Definitely
Yeah,
mediums.
either.
I would have gone for the mediums here. But the softs, as long as you can hold on to them, keep your top 10, get the point for the fastest lap. I mean, I think that's what Kenny's going for at this point.
Well, that or maybe some safety cars. It gets kind
Yeah.
of crazy at the end of these Grand Prix. And
That's-
maybe if he can get some safety cars, he can cool these softs back off and just act like it's qualifying.
As Kenny has purple sector 1, but he needs to be sure to get into Garrison's DRS so he can be able to set this fastest lap. Is I don't know if he got in the detection zone quick enough there. We'll see here. Out of the
sent
final
it.
hairpin, I want to see if he will be. No, but the thing about it is that the DRS's detection zone is that dot, the green
Yeah,
dot.
that's earlier.
So he did not get it. He's in the DRS zone. He does not have Gary's DRS. Jackson sets the fastest lap of the 1:12.2. As well, I wonder if we can see Kenny set a faster lap here. Maybe a 1:11. 1:12 flat for Kenny.
Yeah,
Almost.
This actually isn't the worst strategy in
No.
the world for Kenny.
You can gain a ton of time, but you might have to lose that time later, as we do see two cars still on the double-digit hards. So those two will have to pit at some point this race. They'll lose a bunch of spots, possibly, as well. The one thing Jackson does not want to see right now, though, is a safety car. Although he could go down to the softs as well as everybody else, as he is the fastest car we've seen all night.
Jackson has been on a different level per usual. He really hasn't been touched. The only guy I got close to him was in the middle of the race. Clay was within a
Oh, there's some
second.
contact there between Gary and Kenny. Kenny really wants his spot away from Garrison on the hards,
That
but I think he decided to
DRS.
give that spot back. He does have the DRS. Will he use any ERSs? He doesn't have it selected, but he does Try to go around the outside of Garrison as he does get it done.
Yeah,
This
Gary
might be
gives
an
up
even
2
faster
spots
lap
there.
here. 111, 112. It is not.
So while Jackson was putting down his fastest lap before Kenny took it, the other 2 in the podium, Mr. Hex and Porchy, got simultaneous penalties.
Furchinator has retired
has
from session. We're going to go right along with Jackson and
safety
see if we
car.
can. Wow. Wow.
Now
Furchinator
hold
has
on
killed
a
it.
second. Can this
Everybody's
help
coming.
Kenny?
I don't know. If
Come
I were
down for
him,
softs
yeah,
again.
I'd come down for softs again.
Remember, Kenny
If
had
he has
12
any.
seconds.
He does have a ton of penalties. This is a good time to check all the penalties, as I said.
Yeah, maybe
Mr.
come down and serve
Hex.
some of that.
Mr. Hex with a 6-second. That one, Portugal with a 6. Kenny with a 12. Garrison with a 3. Electric with a 9. Beamer with a 6. Misopes with a 3. Mike G with a 3 as well. As we are seeing Jackson come down pit road, you gotta think he's opting for the softs.
Oh yeah, now it's time to
100%.
start.
As the
Start
softs are
thinking
in the
about
Red
softs.
Bull pit crew's hands here. He's gonna get out of pit lane before any car even hits the chicane. Probably. Well, no, but he comes. He's now crossing the start finish line here. Kenny with a
Ooh.
drive-through penalty.
Oh,
That-
that's a killer. And for
Wow.
what?
Speeding into the pit lane
No,
under safety car.
but why? Why would you speed on pit lane? Why?
I mean, you know how it goes.
That stinks. Hey,
That'll
are you ready
hurt
to see
Ferrari.
some qualifying laps? Because I'm ready to see some qualifying laps.
I'm ready to see some more wrecks. I do not think all 18 cars from this point on will finish this race. We are getting within 10 laps here.
Gary
I
has
believe
stayed
everybody
out.
is pushing.
On 4-lap old hards in a sea of 0-lap old softs.
Gary, I gotta be
has
honest here,
balls
buddy.
of steel.
What are we cooking?
That is.
Kenny has retired from the session as well. I think he retired in pit lane. Oh no, he wrecked it.
Can confirm, Kenny. Just
Can
throw
confirm
himself
he
on the
Oh
safety car.
no!
is
He
dead.
is wrecked under the safety car. Rest in pieces.
You gotta think. If we have anybody with Mercedes info, what are they cooking? We got Joker with the 0-lap softs. You gotta think here. Does Gary opt for pit road now, this late? We saw it with Elite Precision last at Jeddah. No, he wrecked at Jeddah. It was the week after Australia.
Australia, yeah.
We saw.
Oh man.
Does he come down pit lane? I think Mike G should also opt for pit lane here on the 4-lap
If
mediums.
you're Gary, there's no way you're gonna hold off anybody on 4-lap
No,
hards.
does he come down? He is coming down pit lane. Got to see
Yeah.
what Mike G does here too. He
I
is also
respect
coming
the
down pit
move.
lane.
Maybe he's trying to lead a lap, but no, there ain't no way you're staying out there on 4-lap.
Furch, politely go to incident report. You're on the broadcast. We will not help your case here. Gary will not be getting a 3-second under our ruling, but you can check that out. An incident report after the race. Send a clip in, and the steward will deal with it later. Gary has 6 seconds of penalties, man. As
No. So hold on, Elite Precision up to 6. This is the best he's been running all day, and he's finding
Think
it at
so.
the right time. With just it's gonna be about 8-9 laps to go.
Elite Precision Man has put in the work, put in the hours, and he's going to take what is his here in P6. I'm getting a very bad staticky noise from F1. It's not even my headphones at this point. That is F1. Get your sound correct.
You really love to see it.
Oh, I love hearing
Tiger's
static
trying
in
to
my
make a
ears.
pass under safety car.
Oh, I love it. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, stream, if that's also affecting you guys, but this is awful. You'd think they'd fix things, but it's
It is
okay.
EA Sports.
It's also Codemasters at the same time.
It's
But
mostly
EA does give
Sports.
them the money. And microtransactions go crazy with that
Safety car in this
Bitcoin.
lap.
As we see it ghosted Team Air Jordan in P3 here.
Oh boy.
As Porchy's right behind his ghosted teammate. That car is going so slow. And I don't know if you can... you might be able to overtake lap cars, but I don't think so. It's not green yet. So we're going to ride on board with Killer XL here on this final start. As those lights are
Jackson,
still yellow.
he's going
As we are
now.
going. We go pretty early here.
And that blew the doors off fifth on back. They did not keep up.
The lights were brighter than expected.
That's tough.
What is going... Oh.
Ignoring the
Heredia.
yellow flag
For who?
for Porchy.
Yeah, he passed his AI, and I think there's an illegal overtake for Killer, because they didn't hit the start-finish line yet. He had to stop there for the Team Air Jordan AI. Oh, how you hate to see it.
The AI just caused all that?
Yeah, because it was going so slow that...
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god.
No penalty for it, but he did have to slow down, and he lost 9 positions. That is crazy.
That killed Porchy, that killed Frank, that killed probably Tiger. Looked like he was up there, and now he's back. And now they're 3 abreast going into the carousel.
This is crazy, as I think the Mercedes will come out on top. As the Ferrari might have gotten squeezed into the wall. The Aston Martins, they love racing each other here. So we're going to see what happens.
$111. Watch him tick
Wow.
on up here. You're gonna see
111
some fast laps.
Nope. Only. Oh.
No!
McLaren off and
Heredia.
Aston Martin is off as well.
Rev Beamer in the Haas, also spinning.
As well. Wow. That sucks for Rev Beamer. He was having a great night. Mayhem with a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. Oh, he
Caution.
went deep. Mayhem retires from the session.
Man, probably wrecked. That's safety car.
I think he wrecked on the front stretch. That's his car. In a full course safety car. Full course yellow. As that safety car is stopped out of turns 1 and 2 in the middle of sector 1.
It is waiting on him. How about AlphaTauri? 4th and 5th right now. Electric has found his way into the top 5 for the first time tonight. Clay has made the rebound back to the top 5. That's
He
impressive
has
stuff.
indeed.
Mercedes 6th and 7th. He really that really rubs me the wrong way with that final or that last restart that we had. That somehow a lapped car. I'm not putting this on Team Air Jordan. I'm putting this on F1. That for some reason, because Team Air Jordan was not going, you can't pass a lapped car.
You can't pass a car before the start finish line. Doesn't matter apparently.
It's a lapped
um,
car.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty stupid.
Oh, that's dumb.
In my opinion as well.
Oh my
As
god.
we may receive word from Killer here. As that mic is unmuted.
He does not
No,
sound
what makes
happy.
it worse is that it's an AI, right?
Yeah.
And the
He's
AI
ghost-
stopped before
Yeah.
the line.
Yeah, that
And it killed
honestly, that shouldn't even be a penalty if you did pass him. I don't understand what F1's doing there. Whatever. Everyone's going to rebound from it. Already came down pit road and got new softs. Logan looks like he may have as well.
Where is Team Air Jordan's AI starting this time?
Be honest, I think there should be a rule that you should never be able to use your AI. You should just
Well,
quit.
the thing about that though is they don't control that. He is not in the session.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm saying that I don't know if there's a setting that can just set them to pit road after. Like, there's no reason there should ever be an AI racing, ever, unless it's under like, you know, safety car where you hit pause. You're able to
Yeah.
race there.
That's
But
one thing
if
in my
you-
opinion. But first, we understand. He chose not to come back. We understand. We know. We get it. He would have come
We
back by
get
now
it.
if he chose to come back. He did not. We get it.
I'm not putting this blame on Team Air Jordan.
I don't know, man.
I'm just not.
I am. He
I'm
left the
putting
race.
blame on. I mean,
No,
yeah.
he left the race deliberately. He did not lag out. He would have come back if he lagged out. Oh my god, this static is unbelievable. This game sucks, dude. No, Fretch, we get it. He didn't lag out. If he lagged out, he would have joined back. He did not join back. You gotta think, if you're that one Portuguese, what do you do with that second driver? That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
It's a D1 spot, man. If
It
you're gonna
is.
quit the races like that, it's like Bubba quitting that iRacing race and lost a sponsor. So,
I don't know. It's a tough situation. I'm sure Team Air Jordan doesn't want to create havoc,
no,
but F1.
look at how
makes it so
far
you
his
have
car's
havoc.
sitting behind the next car in front. We should never go to Canada again.
I agree on that
Thank
one.
you for the input, Kenny.
As we're gonna get going, it's going to be 4 laps to decide a
many-
winner here in Canada.
How many penalties does Electric have? 9 seconds.
Hey, they're 4th and 5th. If you just take away the penalties over there, AlphaTauri is.
That's a
4th
good
and
day for AlphaTauri if he doesn't have that 9 second. He might drop down to out
This
of
is
the top 10
someone's
and out of the
best
points.
chance at Jackson. As he's already going once
As
again.
Mr.
Can
Hex
Hex
is-
stay with him?
He's already lost half a second. So we're going to see if he can make any moves with this, like any desperate moves here into the first turn, but I don't think he will. I think he is content with this position because he has 6 seconds. Porchy has 11 behind him. Porchy can drop very far down the lineup with this 11-second penalty. He has got, his Electric goes to 12 seconds of penalties here. Mike G gets up to 6 seconds of penalties here. So, realistically speaking, Mr. X has to finish at least 5. Rev Beamer out of the session. I don't think that'll bring out a full course safety car. I think he'll be,
Oh yeah, he
Cleared up
wrecked out of
enough.
turn 3.
yep, as so did Masopes. Masopes has also wrecked
also
out.
out of it. Turn 3 as well.
Ferrari disaster class.
Really love to see it. All in the last 3 laps mostly.
I mean, that happened to
Oh.
us last night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ferrari-
Like all Ferrari.
Ferrari-
Wrecking the last 3 laps is crazy.
Ferrari and Canada are not good friends. As go through this lineup, Jackson can finish as far as ahead as he wanted Mr. Hex. Hex has to finish at least 5 seconds ahead of Porchy. Well, Porchy has to finish at least 11 seconds.
Bump draft.
Of
How about
4th.
some bump draft between. Oh, Garrison!
Oh no! Garrison,
Oh,
no
wing
front
flying,
wing.
decapitating a
Oh
driver.
my
Oh,
goodness gracious!
the
I hope
humanity.
all the fans in the stands are okay after that one.
oh no.
As I
Garrison.
think, as Masopes just joined back, but I think Killer here, as long as he stays within this little time area, he will gain 2 spots here. All these drivers, 6th through 9th, will gain at least 2 spots, I believe, as long as they can stay within 11 and 12 seconds of Electric and Porchy. As
Man.
somehow Air Jordan lost a spot to Masopes. Well, his AI, even if it was top 10, he wouldn't deserve it. He wouldn't get any points, unfortunately, due to our AI ruling. But moving along.
Hex is only 1.5 back, but he does have
Yeah,
big
he has
penalties,
that
so this
6
really
second.
doesn't matter.
So if we're looking at it here, Clay and Joker are fighting for that second position. Elite position
Definitely are.
a bit behind Joker there. Only by 3/10 though. Joker's almost 3.5 away from Clay. I think Clay just needs to keep it on track and get no penalties. And he'll solidify a second place finish. Porchy, I don't know, man. He's got 4 seconds to Joker. Let's go to the leader here. Leader interval. So as we see,
Oh my goodness, killer. Wow. Loose in turn 2. Almost killed it. Yeah, this is where the battle's going to be, it seems. I mean, you have a little battle from 5th to 7th, and then you have another bigger battle from like 8th to 10th. There's a lot going on.
Electric may be battling a lot here, but I don't know how much of a use because he will drop to 13th if the race were to end now. He's got to get 21, 22 seconds ahead of last place to not finish 13th. Porchi can finish. He will get 12th. Mr. Hex will drop to probably 5th. You just have to make sure you don't get any penalties from this point on, as we are on the last lap of this race. Jackson, smooth sailing. He's on a Sunday drive.
This is momentum quantified right here. I mean, he has been on rails since he came back 3 weeks ago at Australia. He has been on a tear, and Red Bull, he looks like Max Verstappen.
He
to be
does.
completely honest with you, Dylan.
As Joker just has, if he wants any shot at second place, I think he just has to hope Clay for some reason gets a 3 second, and Joker can get inside 3 seconds, as he's not at the moment. As look at this field, I don't know how the rest of this will stack out to be, because Hex might only lose 2 spots here.
Yeah, I think it's going to draw him out of the podium, but good battle from Hex and Porchi on his rebound.
Jackson
You
Allman,
gotta give him credit.
out of the final chicane, will come across the start-finish line to win his 4th Grand Prix of the year. No, 3rd Grand Prix of the year. 3rd in a row as well. Mr. Hex crossed the line, dropped 1 position at Clay, and that is all he will drop. Joker, as we just see Porchi, drop all the way down to 10th place.
Still in the points.
Still in the points. Still gets that 1 point.
Get that 1 extra playoff point.
If I was Alfa Romeo, you need every point you can get from this point forward. As Killer XL, driver of the day. How about that? If only we gave driver of the day points out. Killer would be ecstatic about that one. As we're coming here, Jackson Allman wins this Grand Prix. What?
Oh, he did that little foot clap thing. Oh my. Pain. I'm never going for Jackson again this season.
I think from this point forward, we might as well just have Jackson automatically added to these booth parties, because he just has these demanding races. Or, I don't know if I use that term right. Anyway, Jackson comes home with a P1, Clay with a P2. Mr. Hex loses that position to Clay, drops down to P3, Joker P4, Tiger P5, Elite Precision P6, Killer 7th, Logan 8th, Heredia 9th, Porchi 10th. As we're going to be moving to outside of the points to Mike G 11th, Electric 12th, Gary 13th, Air Jordan 14th, Miss Soaps 15th, Rev Beamer 16th, Mayhem 17th, Kenny 18th, Virginia 19th, and 20th goes Josh. Jim, if you want to be a nice little co-host and add our top 3 finishers of Jackson, Clay, and Hex, I'll thank you. As Jackson is already here.
Right now.
So I think we'll go to the usual 3rd through 1st, I believe.
Oh, that's the wrong Clay.
What a race. Many safety cars, but that's what you'll get at a very fast track like Canada. Excuse me.
Alright, I think I've added them all. Hopefully I didn't add some rando.
Hold on. So I gotta say, that was a very exciting Grand Prix, as we are joined by a 3rd place finisher of Mr. Hex 339. That echo goes crazy as well. But Mr. Hex, when he got that last penalty there, and you lost that spot to Clay, what are you thinking after that? You still finished on the podium though. Good points today for McLaren, it seems. But take us through your mind that last safety car. Oh, it's good to see you not lose too many positions there with that 6-second penalty. Jim, do you have any questions for our third place finisher tonight?
Hex, really good run from you tonight. McLaren is going to be delighted to see a podium finish out of you. I'm looking at the points right now, and it looks like there's a pretty big log jam here at 29 points. Killer XL, Clay, Josh, you, Tiger, all of y'all are hovering around that area. How are you feeling about your point situation at the moment? This one's probably going to propel you up to about 5th. Love to hear it, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium, and hopefully this gives McLaren a little bit of a boost going into the next race.
Yeah, man, that was a good rebound tonight. Good job getting on the podium. Hopefully gain that momentum into the next race at Austria. As we'll be moving on over to Clay. How are you, man?
I'm doing good.
Nice. Finally some emotion there, it seems. How do you feel about getting that position after that 6-second penalty that you saw that Hex had? What was your mindset there? Just to stay behind and just keep it on track, or?
Yeah, my mindset was that I got 2 warnings at the beginning of the race, so I wasn't really trying to push the limits. And so I was just trying to get at least Portuguese DRS so I can at least stay with Hex. So Hex was kind of flying for a bit, and I was worried I didn't get out my range. But I think I pulled it back and got that 2nd place.
I got you, man. That was a good rebound there. Good way to get past, be able to stay within 6 seconds of Hex. I assume you have any questions for our 2nd place finisher?
You were the 2nd fastest, it felt like, all night. You were the only one that was able to stay within 2 seconds, and you were closing on Jackson there a little bit in the middle stages of the race. Kind of go through how you felt about your speed that race, and if you could have given Jackson a run for his money.
Yeah, I think the tire difference, at the beginning of the tire stint, was pretty significant. I gained at least 5 tenths through that stint, but I think I just kind of fell off. The tires did, and Jackson was just too fast. And yeah, I guess I could have maybe at least gotten to DRS, but I don't think I would have kept in that range too.
I got you, man. How you feeling for Austria next week?
Austria, I mean, it could be a mixed bag because people will forget that a braking exists and probably take out some of the field, and it's basically a DRS track, but I think it'll be fun to drive in.
Definitely, man. Well, again, congrats on 2nd place, and yeah,
Sure.
back to you.
Yes, Clay, thank you very much for joining us up here, getting us through your mind as we see Jackson 3 in a row for the Red Bull driver and owner. How are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. Another one. Up into the points lead.
True.
It's another good race.
So throughout the race, with that many safety cars, at any point were you worried that anyone was going to get too desperate and actually take you out at any point during this race on any of the safety car restarts?
No, not really. I feel like, I don't know. I don't, even if they did go for a big move or something, I would just back out. I wasn't risking getting wrecked because I knew I had the pace to just pass them right back.
I got you, man. It's a great mindset to have as well. Make sure you can don't get wrecked by that guy and lose that many points. I think he gained about 26 tonight with the pole. Actually 27 because he got the pole, the fastest lap, as well as the race win, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that was a fantastic drive out of you tonight. Jimmy, you have any questions for our winner tonight?
Jackson, dominant performance. I feel like I've already said that 2 times already. I think I have. But another dominant performance here in Division 1. One of my questions is, are you ever going to make me have to watch that heel clap again, or are you going to change your emote?
The victory celebration.
I like my emote.
Do you now?
Yeah, I like I don't know if you can hear the the voice at the end of the race after I win, but it's like, oh, I'm so sore. It
Oh
sounds
my
like that
gosh.
too.
Can't confirm we
I like-
unfortunately
I like
cannot.
My emotes. I like my emotes.
Those are some pretty silly emotes, if I do say so myself.
That's
But,
fantastic. And then, of course, next week, Red Bull. I mean, y'all are going in there with a very healthy constructor points advantage over Aston Martin and the rest of the teams in Division 1. That's a home track for Red Bull. You think you can bring it home again, or your teammate can bring it home again?
I'm not sure right now if I'll be there.
no.
So
Oh.
we'll have to see.
Well, I know that everybody in the league, their eyes just lit up because they're like, now we have a shot.
It's just true.
Right.
Again,
It is Austria,
congrats on
so-
your win, though.
It's an easy track to keep up, man. Thank you.
Well, Jackson, thank you for joining us this week, and I'm men of my word. If Jackson shows up next week and wins, I will go to Wendy's and get a 4 for 4 in a row wins for Jackson Altman. Thank you, everybody, tonight for joining us here. Thank you to our top 3 finishers on the podium tonight. Thank you guys for joining us in the booth. Congratulations on tonight's race. Thank you on behalf of the
You're
Energy
really gonna
Performance
use,
Racing
Jackson
League.
as an excuse to be fat?
Get this guy, shut
Yeah,
up.
man. Hey, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Leave me alone. And my personal choice is out of this. But thank you for joining us, everybody in the chat, everybody in the race as well. This is Ballstick and Big Jim. On behalf of the Henderson Performance Racing League, everybody have a good rest of your night. And make sure to join us next week for D2 and D1 Wednesday night and Thursday night for Austria. Thank you and have a great night, everybody.